Peter, inventor of our roof coating. You started roofing, and you didn't even know it. I think your dad sent you up to fix the roof when you were younger. Tell me about that.
Well, younger, yeah, that'd be putting it mildly. I was a teenager, and we were out on Vancouver Island up in Canada. And Dad basically, whenever we had all kinds of buildings around the place. So whenever there was a problem with the roof, sure enough, we didn't call a roofer. We went up and fixed it. So I learned hot mop at probably the age of 12. And then the main house roof had a shingle roof. And Dad says, we should put a cedar shake roof on. But then he looked at the price. They were too expensive. So what we do is went up into the mountains and found an old grows cedar tree that had fallen down. So it was all nice and dry. And we cut it into pieces and took the blocks home and got an old antique shake knife. And I spent weeks turning those blocks into cedar shakes and then weeks putting them on. That was during my teenage years. So that would be 30, 40 years ago. And that roof was on the house till it had to be re-roofed some 30 years later.
Where we are with the roof coating, that wasn't the original plan, right? What was the original plan? Where did that start?
No, the original plan there was, and the business that was built up it started in about 1990, thereabouts. And it was to manufacture architectural molding. We actually built up a little business, got a couple more guys involved. One of them is actually a shareholder in Castagra as well. But our plant was located in the North Vancouver shipyard, and it was an old building. It had a roof that leaked a lot. It was just a built-up roof that was rotten. So what we did is we just sent the guys up because we'd already been using the stuff that we were making the moldings for going out onto ships and doing small repairs on ships. And it turns out the stuff worked really well. So we threw it up on our roof, fixed those leaks. And then a couple of years later, we had more leaks popping up in different areas. So we sent them up and just coat the whole damn thing. And we did.
As you've gone more deeper and deeper into the roofing industry, I mean, it started as a teenager, but I mean, what have you learned? What have you noticed about the roofing industry?
Back at the time, it's like, in the early 1990s, we're not going to compete with tar. Well, hot mop and built-up roofs are kind of drifted away from that into single plies that weren't really around in any big way. And I'm talking about flat roofs mainly. One of the things that I find is the most interesting thing is I think there's this. I think it's an evil, wrong, and a terrible assumption that manufacturers have kind of assumed that roofers aren't that sophisticated. That roof coatings have to be really simple. In other words, hot mop tar. You make it hot, you melt it, it goes down, or you unroll it and glue it down or nail it down or something like that. And for coatings, they had to be one-part coatings, like these emulsions and things. You have to be able to open the bucket, spread them out, and that's it. Well, that limits the technological options severely.
You've always been big on sustainability and change. I mean, walk us through your history there.
I always had this view, and I have never seen it anywhere, but if anything, there's a measure of how good we are as far as being stewards of our resources on the planet. It's if you took the amount of living material, plant and animal, per square mile, and it's a value judgment, but I think if you take the view if that number goes up, that in other words you're having more life per square mile, that goes to the good. And then when that number goes down, I think that's a negative. Now that's a value judgment. So I've always kind of been orienting towards things that that increase life and decrease and away from things that want to decrease that density.
I know you for a while. You're really intense when you're on something. You're on something, But over the years, you've mellowed a little bit. walk us through why that is, or why you think that is.
Well, part of it is genetic. Being born with Asperger's, not diagnosed, but everybody that seems to know anything about it, sort of confirms that yeah, I've got that. So the other part is sitting over here. Get over here. Come on. Get her in the shot. And there, see. There's one part of the influence right there. So she helps to mellow me out. So if anything, that's where that influence is coming from. So okay, all right. So you asked the question. There you have it.